right now. So, okay, we're recording. So I will post this in the coach training group so that those of you who couldn't get on are able to watch it, and then you can review it if you'd like. So first of all, I appreciate, I know Keen, you're fresh on. Kelly and Jamie, you guys have been really good about staying on top of the posts. I know sometimes that, life gets crazy, and, I get it. I remember when I started, but this coach training is really important. It helps sort of set the groundwork for where you need to go from this point forward. And I will just tell you, from all the coach trainings I've done, those who finish it generally are way more successful than those that don't. So it's really important that you do it. Some of it might be like, okay, I get it. But you really, you kind of need to have it, because these are really the benchmarks for, all the things that we're telling you I do every single day still 2.5 years later. And it's really what's going to help you move your business forward. So, really, you're going to get what you put in. Obviously do the daily assignments, but on top of that, now that we've talked about the vital behaviors, we've talked about the power hour and like inviting the challenge groups. These are the things you need to be doing every day. So I'm just going to kind of go over what we've done over the last 6 days. Obviously the first one was relatively easy one, your Facebook profile, having a nice solid picture of yourself. Your cover photo should be a nice, we went over some of those do's and don'ts. Obviously, there's some great websites where you can do some really fun things. Canva.com and PicMonkey are good ones. I'm actually hiring someone now to do a really nice professional one for my like page, but that's something you don't have to worry about yet unless you really want to spend the money right now. But Canva, I hear great things, and I've monkeyed around with it. I don't have patience. Number 2, the second day was our guide to social media, just kind of some do's and don'ts with social media. And, but I think we're all good there. The vital behaviors. This is a really, really important one, which we talked about last Wednesday in the group, because they are the things you should be doing every single day. And I'm going to talk about the power hour. I'm going to show you what I do every single day and exactly what that looks like, so that, you kind of have a feeling for, where to go and things like that. So obviously inviting is part of that, but I'm going to break that down for you in a few minutes, because inviting is such like a broad, sometimes kind of scary thing. People think, oh, I just got to talk to all these people about these products. And no, it doesn't look like that. Being a product of the product, obviously working out, doing your Shakeology, all that kind of thing, sharing that on social media and, face-to-face and all of that. Your personal development, which I know we've talked a little bit about, and it seems like you guys, many of you, if not all of you, already have something that you're reading. It's just 10 minutes per day. It's, especially when things are slow or you're struggling or you're just emotionally not there. And I've had days and weeks and months like that where personal development is really big. So it's important to kind of stay on top of that, just to help with your personal growth too. And it also gives us, it helps with posting and things like that to kind of keep things fresh and all that good stuff. And then the last vital behavior, which they just added, is called recognition. It's really just, it's recognizing our challengers, being in tune with our challengers, being in tune with our coaches, and recognizing successes, and really keeping with the kind of the motto with Beachbody, which is, it's a really positive company who wants to create change, positive change for people. So it's just kind of helping the coaches do those things. So those are the vital behaviors. We talked about the power hour, which I'm going to go more into detail in a minute, so I'm going to cover that in a minute. We talked about challenge group posts, like creating a nice challenge group post. And I encourage you to really start, sorry, I'm playing with my bangs because I just got new bangs and they're driving me nuts because I'm looking at myself. Challenge group posts. I encourage you to seriously look at some other coaches that you may not know if you admire them or not, but I have coaches that kind of watch and follow just because I like how they crafted a post. I don't copy it by any means, but it gets my creative juices flowing. And I'm still like working on getting better posts. Like that's definitely not my strength. Although I've gotten to the point I'm at right now, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at with business. I know that's my weakness and I'm working on it. But that's something that I do that I'm really working on this summer is, vamping that up with really engaging posts that people will be interested in. So, and then the last one, responding to invites. So what we're going to do tonight is I really want to go over that power hour, the things that you need to do. And if you can focus on that, because we're all busy, we all have other lives other than Beachbody. So we're not going to spend our whole day doing Beachbody stuff. So I really want this to be, this to work for you, because that's when like I said, when I started, I was in the middle of the school year. I had 3 kids, one of them being 1-year-old. And, so there was a lot going on. So I really had to hone in on my power hour and make it work for me, because my life was really busy, and it still is. I mean, we're summertime now, so I have a little bit more freedom, but I still value that power hour, because I don't want to spend my whole time doing Beachbody related activities. As much as I love to do it, part of the reason why I love it is because I have the freedom to do the other things. So with that said, what I would suggest that you all do is, first of all, I want you to look at your week ahead every Sunday. Like, I do this every Sunday. I truly look at my calendar, and I have a nice little calendar that I use. It's just a basic, it's called a plum paper calendar, which you don't have to buy this, but any sort of calendar where I have the month laid out for me, and then I also have my days laid out for me. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's just real simple, nothing major, fancy. But every Sunday I pull out my calendar, I create like a to-do list for the week, and I plug it into the hours of the week that I plan on working. So if you're only able to work from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, that's totally fine. We're going to make it work, because we're going to identify the must-dos that you need to do. The fluff, there is fluff with Beachbody, can hold off, especially when you're building. You need to do the vital behaviors, power hour type stuff. So that's, I really want to stress that, because I think some people get hooked into or get stuck into looking at their Facebook newsfeed or Instagram or whatever social media platform that you use. And then all of a sudden 25 minutes has gone by. I've done it before myself. So I really try not to do that. So when you dedicate, or when you look at your calendar and you write it down, you're saying to yourself, I am going to focus on these behaviors. I'm not going to get stuck into checking out someone's profile or whatever. There's other times you can do that. You can do that when you're, relaxing and not working. So that would be my first thing for you to do, is really schedule out your time for the week. What are you going to, what's your time going to look like? Number 2, we're going to develop a list of things that you need to do every day, and those must do's. And then you can determine the other things that you want to do, which might be, creating or looking at different coaches' posts, or it could be, doing some extra invites that day, or playing with canva.com and figuring out your Facebook banner. Those are some extras you can do, but getting down to business is what I want you to focus on. So I'm going to pull out this new sheet that I've been using, and I've posted it in Team All-Stars, and I'll post it in this group too. Someone else found it on Etsy, and I bought it. It's just like $5 to download. And I love it. I mean, I'm still doing the same things I was doing before, but it really breaks it down for me. I don't know if you can see it. So it says on the top, it has, what I read or what personal development I did, because we need to make sure we do that, what workout I did, the Shakeology I drank. Those are like no-brainers to me. I do those anyway. Well, right now I'm not really working out, to be honest with you, because I'm just like, I can barely bend over. But normally it's a no-brainer for me. And then this is the important part here. And you can we'll talk about it here. This is the invitation process. These are all the pieces of inviting, and I'll just read through them right. I'm not going to show this paper the whole time. Number 1, you need to be adding to your social network every day, because if you are just posting and reaching the same group of people every day, you're just reaching the same group of people every day. You need to constantly be growing and expanding your network of people that you're reaching out to. So that's friend requesting. It's going on to other friends' profiles, and you can go on their friends, and there'll be like suggestions, and you'll see like friends of friends and things, people that you might be able to friend request. If you have a like page, that's another way to grow your network. I know some of you have started one. You don't have to start one right now, but that's another way to grow your network. Other ways to grow your network is getting involved in different interest groups, like, I don't know, things that you're into. If you're into, running, I know we have a lot of runners that are Beachbody coaches. You might get into some groups like that, or, there's a lot of moms, you might get in a pregnant moms group, or I'm just thinking that because that's all that's on my brain. Things like that. That's a good way to network and make new friends. So that's the first piece of that invitation process. The second one is connecting, which is basically truly going through your friends and reconnecting with people, like messaging them saying, hey, what's going on? How's life treating you? Be genuine, be yourself, be interested. Don't just do it because it's part of what we're supposed to be doing, but, make it genuine. Who are the people you haven't connected to or talked to in a long time? You're kind of like, want to find out what's going on in their life. I try to do that 5 or 6 people a day, because it's just a really good way to recreate relationships, because this business is about relationships anyway. So, we got the husband-wife combo coming on. And so, I think that's a really important piece, because we're building those relationships and creating trust with people. And quite frankly, like for me, whether or not they choose to become part of my team or challenge group, I think it's fun. It's great. I love reconnecting with some old friends, and I find value in that. Just for me personally, I just like that. So that's important. Then, of course, we do have the invitation process. Now, invites don't happen necessarily cold. You're not necessarily going to, call someone up and be like, hey, I've just started this out, and I really want you to participate in this challenge group I'm running, or, hey, Shakeology is awesome. You might do that. Sometimes I have. If someone has shown a need for it, or if they've been talking about something they really need to add, like, you can do that. I'm not saying not to. You kind of have to read the situation. I've done cold invites and they have worked, but they don't always. Most people generally, they want to know what you're all about and see what you're doing. And so that's part of that posting on social media. Excuse me. I have heartburn, horrible. Follow-up is huge. This is where that tracking comes in play. And my tracking system is an old school notebook. That's all I do. Some people like to get an Excel and do other sorts of tracking systems. I've tried all of it. There's lots of different websites, like Asana is a good app people use. And I did use it for a while, but I just kept going back to the paper and pencil for me. And so I just keep a list of potential coaching prospects, people that have at one point showed interest, and I just kind of stick with it, and I'll follow up with them, every few weeks, see where they're at, see how things are going, or I'll just keep conversations going, sometimes not even about Beachbody, just about life in general, just because I want them to know I'm not just there to sell something to them. I actually care about what's going on in their life. So that's part of that follow-up. And follow-up truly is where your success is going to be, because 99% of the time, people are not going to buy something from you the first time you talk to them. So don't get discouraged at all. That doesn't mean they're not interested. It means that it might be not right now. Maybe they've got 100 things going on. Maybe they forgot. That happens all the time. Like, they'll sometimes say, thanks for reminding me. I completely forgot this and this was going on in my life, whatever. You just have to be patient. Don't bug, but just make sure you're connected, and that you're not always bringing it back to Beachbody. You're just kind of threading it in, and you're making it about your relationship with that person, because that really is the biggest part, is that relationship piece anyway. And then the last one, and this might be a little bit scarier because you guys are all new, but is presenting that business opportunity. And that is going to be the bigger, longer term goal for you all, but that is where your growing your team is going to happen. And we are going to talk a little bit more about that as this Coach Basics group continues, is presenting that business opportunity as, and I try to present it up 6 times to 6 people per day, but truthfully, if I can get 2 or 3 invites for that a day, I'm thrilled. So don't, make that a do or die kind of thing. But onboarding new coaches is where your business is going to grow, and how you're going to advance to different levels of your business. So it's something that you should start thinking in the back of your mind, and we can certainly help you with that as things come up or present themselves. The best, typically the best coaches are the people that were really good challengers, or people who have been really successful with their fitness journey. Like Kelly was in a challenge group a couple months ago, and I kept saying to Ashley, I'm like, she's going to be a good coach. You need to talk to her about that, because she was so invested in our group, and she was doing all the things in the group, and she was participating. And I was like, she could be a good one. She could be a really great coach. She's been doing really great in this. And now here she is, and she's been invested in being a coach. So, I think that's, for me, that's where I find a lot of people who end up being really good coaches. Or, and then on the other end of the coin, like Kian is someone I've always wanted to be a coach. I have like a dream team of people that I want to be coaches, because they're just really into fitness, or they're really active. They're on social media. I know they've got a lot of friends. Like, I have a group list of people that I know would be great at it. And Kian was one of them, even though he has never participated in any of my challenge groups or anything like that, but I knew he would be. So you kind of have to start thinking about some people that you think would be great on your team. So at least start brainstorming it, writing some names down, things like that would be a good thing for you to do. So all of that is part of that invitation process. So, make a list for yourself. What I do, like I said, I write it down for myself and I check it off. And that's part of my power hour. I get it done in an hour. You also, if you're doing challenge groups, obviously you want to do your challenge group posts and check in with your groups. Those are important parts of your power hour. And posting on social media. So, that's really it, when it comes to the power hour. So just kind of an overview, power hour includes your invitations, which is friend requesting, sending out messages to people just to say hello, how's life going? Throw a few invites in there, people that you have already had conversations with about an upcoming challenge group. So you're following, you're using your follow-up list, because I have a ton of people that I've talked to at some point or another, and it just depends on where you're at in the conversation. So some of those people are going to get invitations, and that's part of that follow-up, and then presenting the business opportunity, checking in your challenge groups, and posting, really. If you do those things every day, you will see your business grow. There's no way around it. The way I've always kind of approached it is, if I get no's, I'm not going to worry about it, because I just keep them on my follow-up list. And I also just kind of keep in my mind that there's a system. I trust the system, and it's worked for me. As I said before in the call, posting is probably my weakest point as far as like really cool, fun posts. I don't know. Sometimes I might have a good one, but the reason why I've been successful is because I have done my power hour every day since the day I've started this business. And a lot of it is that behind the scenes, the messaging, the talking to people, connecting with people. And I'm still posting, but those pieces I find are huge, because you're building trust. And those challenge groups too, like, have really fun, engaging challenge groups. People love that. That's where you're going to get people interested in you, and interested in like, oh, I want to work with that person. She or he is, someone that I can trust, and like, obviously what they're doing is working for them, so being vulnerable about what you're doing, what workouts you're doing, and is it working, is it not? It's okay to say sometimes if you've screwed up, because we're human. And people appreciate that, like, oh, they don't want to think like, oh, I can't do that because, they do it perfectly. You kind of have to just be yourself. So, but like I said, it's those behind the scenes, day-to-day activities that will help your business grow. So, with that said, if you can finish out this training, I think we have another 9 posts, finish the training and do your power hour every day, guarantee you're going to see your business starting to move in the right direction. You're going to have ups and downs, but you'll also, they always say 21 days creates a good habit. you'll also be in a good pattern and get yourself in a good habit of, you know, doing what you should be doing and creating like nice business hours for yourself, especially if you have children. We all know we have to kind of be strategic with our time because we don't want to sacrifice our time with our families and things like that. So it's important to, you know, really think about that and talk to if you have a significant other, talk to them about it. Make sure whatever works for you guys. So, do you guys have any questions for me? I'm trying to think of what other things I was going to talk about. You can unmute yourself. I don't know if you know how to unmute, or you can put something in the chat too. Where are my notes at?
Can you hear me, Sarah?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. I guess my biggest thing that I'm really unsure of in like when we were talking on messaging, like when do you take that step? Because right now I just feel so brand new and I'm still getting a feel of people. Like when do you, I'm just doing the first challenge. So how do I know, like, right now is not a great time to say, oh, I think you'd be great at coaching, because I don't really feel like we're at that point yet, you know?
Right. Well, you know, you kind of have to read each situation. I mean, if there's someone that's totally into fitness and already is into it, I don't think there's any problem in saying, hey, I just started this new thing. Have you ever considered it? Because I see how active you are. And what I'm learning about it is that this is what you do. It might be something to consider. But if it's someone who's like, I'm just new to working out, you know, you probably won't want to go in that direction with them yet. But your goal will be for that person to, you know, mentor them throughout their program. And, you know, if they bought the 21-day fix, like stay in touch with them, make sure they complete the program, help them become successful. Then when they're totally bought in, then you would, you know, talk to them about like, hey, you can really inspire some other people. You're so relatable, whatever. So it is tricky in the beginning. You kind of have to read each situation. I think once you get your business going and you've got a lot of challengers and things like that, it's a little bit easier. But again, I think you can, if there are already people that are into health and fitness, I don't think there's any problem in saying, hey, I just started this new thing. Have you ever considered, you know, learning about it? I can tell you about it if you want. You know, it's a good way to, it's fun and it's a good way to make some extra money. It's just something to think about. The other way that like, a good way to get coaches, not necessarily working coaches, but I always tell people, especially if they're totally hooked on Shakeology, they love it. There's no reason for them to pay full price for Shakeology. If they're going to drink it every month to month, there's no reason they shouldn't be a coach, because when you become a coach, you don't have to do anything. You really don't. There's no obligation to sell anything, but you get the 25% off discount. So I actually have quite a few coaches who just are coaches in name only. And that's totally fine because it helps them. It helps me. It's a win-win situation. They get a discount. They could quit at any time. You know, I think people sometimes get funny with the word coach, but I always try to tell them like, hey, no, there's no obligation. You're coach in name only. You're in it for the discount. I have tons of people that do it, and it just helps you save some money. And, you know, so that's another way to get coaches too. If they're hooked on Shakeology and they love it. I hate to see, I do have some people that drink Shakeology every month and they will not become a discount coach. I go, you are losing hundreds of dollars a year. You know, I think it adds up to like $350 a year. Some people money doesn't matter, but to me, I would care about that. I guess it just depends on the person. What's up, buddy? Does anyone else have any other questions? Jason's sleeping. Okay. So does anyone else have any other questions?
I have one more if nobody else does. Okay, so doing this challenge group, and I had a couple people that already had the 21-day fix programs, but they weren't doing it and it had been some time. And I found out they did not have the coaches like we talked about. Now, when setting up like future challenges, how do you word your conversations with them on purchasing the program and doing one? Because I kind of made it so whatever workout you're currently doing right now would be great if you really just want to join this challenge. You know, I didn't make it a 21-day fix. I only did it because a few of them had it already.
Right, right. Well, I mean, I think you just have to sort of set the groundwork for yourself. When I invite people to a challenge, I might say, hey, you know, I've got this group of people getting, online group of people getting together doing very similar 30-minute workouts, and we all drink this shake that replaces a meal per day, blah, blah, blah. And you talk about their goals and what they want. I never, and then from that point forward, I'll just, I'll present, they'll be like, what kind of workouts? And then at that point, I'll talk to them about, usually I'll talk to them about what's on sale that month, just because, let's face it, money matters to people. And thankfully this month, the 21-day fix and 21-day fix extreme, which are huge sellers, are on sale. I'll be like, oh, it's this 21-day fix program. And for me, that was huge. It helped me lose all my baby weight before I got pregnant. So I talk from personal experience. This program really works. If you stick with it, stay committed, I'll help you. And then I never offer a workout program without Shakeology. I just don't offer it. And they'll be like, what comes with it? How much? And so I will tell them what it comes with. And I always include the Shakeology because I feel like there's just a way better benefit having it with Shakeology. First of all, they're putting more skin in the game. There's more investment for them emotionally, nutritionally. It's huge. It will totally help their nutrition base. It takes care of a meal. And it helps, and obviously it's going to help you. We want to get Shakeology drinkers because those are the people that are going to be more successful, quite frankly, with their workout program. So I just kind of guide the conversation in that direction, and I don't allow it. And then I'll be clear with them to like, what kind of workouts? Well, there are these specific workouts that, you know, there's a wide variety, and I'll find, you know, with some people they don't like hardcore cardio. They might like yoga type activities, and I might talk to them about PiYo. Or if they really like weightlifting, I might talk to them about hammer and chisel. Or if they like really quick, fast workouts, 22-minute hardcore is a really good one. You know, so that's kind of how I do it.
Okay.
So it just takes practice, honestly, and just doing it. Because I know in the beginning it's kind of like, I don't want to talk about it. But I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here to help them. We know these programs work. We know Shakeology works. We know all the benefits of it. So speak from personal experience too, like what's done for you. And I don't know. I hope that helps a little bit.
Yep. Thank you.
Sure. Anyone else have anything? No? Okay. Awesome. All right. So what we will do is, like I said, well, let me check my notes here. I did write a few notes for myself. Go to the power hour. Consistency. Really, truly, it's going to come down to consistency, guys. Stay consistent with your workout program. Stay consistent with your activities every day. Stick the group out. Do all the posts. I mean, honestly, they should take you 10 minutes. Truly, some of them might take a little bit longer. Some maybe a little bit less, but stick with them. Get them done. And then beyond, once we're done with the coach training, you're going to be sailing, and we're all available for each other. You know, there are push to emerald groups and push to diamond groups, which are rank advancement groups we can talk about if you're ready. But the goal for you for this Coach Basics is for you to hit Success Club, which we can talk about that a little bit more later if you want. Hit Success Club, and then start thinking about hitting your first rank advancement, which is Emerald, and we can talk about that later in the group because we will cover that. So those are the two goals by the end of June we want for you all. And if you stick with it and do the daily vitals, I think you can do it. I think you can do it. So, alrighty. Well, I won't keep you on longer than you need to. So what we'll do, I'm going to end the recording. If you have further questions that come up, feel free to put it in the group. I will put the link to this if you're interested. I love it. It was $5, and so I printed out a bunch of them, and so I fill it out every day.
I just got that yesterday.
Did you?
I'm excited. Yeah.
I love it. I think it's great. It's keeping me on track a little bit better. And I just mark it off, and I'm writing the people's names down, and so yeah, I like it. It's worth it. I'll post that in the group. I'll post the recording, and we'll just move on from this day, you know, through the next 9 more days we have. So, all right, guys, thanks for getting on. And I will see you guys in the group. Did someone have something to say? No? Okay. All right. Have a good night, everyone.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.